Okay. Good morning, everyone. Glad you're here. Welcome to Unity. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Jeff. I'm glad to be here. And Linda asked me to perform this song for special music. It's a song by Simon and Garfunkel. Only I'm doing just Simon today. And surprisingly, it's a very short song, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through it once, then I'm going to repeat it again, and if you remember the words and do it, feel free to sing along. It's kind of a happy song, you know. You gotta skip your feet through this song. Slow down, you move too fast. You got to make the morning last, just kicking down the cobblestones, looking for fun and feeling groovy. This part, remember, la-da-da-da-da-da-da, feeling groovy. Hello, lamppost, what you knowin'? I come to watch your flowers growin'. Ain't you got no rhymes for me? Look for fun and feeling groovy. Here we go. La da 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 da, feeling groovy. I got no deeds to do, no promises to keep. I'm dappled and drowsy and ready to sleep. Let the morning come drop down its petals on me. Life, I love you, all is groovy. La da 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 da, feeling groovy. From the top, ready? Slow down, you move too fast. You got to make the morning last, just kicking down the cobblestones, looking for fun and feeling groovy. La da 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 da, feeling groovy. Hello, lamppost, what you knowin'? I come to watch your flowers growin'. Ain't you got no rhymes for me? Looking for fun and feeling groovy. La da 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 da, feeling groovy. I got no deeds to do, no promises to keep. I'm dappled and drowsy and ready to sleep. Let the morning come drop down its petals on me. Life, I love you, all is groovy. La da 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 da, feeling groovy. La da 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 da, feeling groovy. La da 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 da, feeling groovy. Thank you. I'm still not sure what the word dapple means, but it must mean something.
Hello. Good morning. Hi, everybody. Good, good. How are you? Nice to see you. Thank you, Jeff. That was fabulous. Trip down memory lane. And everybody in here knew all the words, so no problem. My name is Kathy Frantzreb, and I'd like to welcome those of you who are here in person and our live streaming participants to Unity of Missoula. As we begin our Sunday service, let's honor one another and take a few moments to greet each other with waves, nods, and other non-physical means to show our appreciation and love for each other. Okay, moving right along. Now, as we move into the more formal part of our service, let's remember Unity of Missoula is a team ministry founded on the 5 basic principles of unity. God is all good and active in everything, everywhere. I am naturally good because God's divinity is in me and in everyone. I create my experiences by what I choose to think and what I feel and believe. Through affirmative prayer and meditation, I connect with God and bring out the good in my life. I do and give my best by living the truth I know. I make a difference. So we have sign-up sheets for greeters, which will be momentarily circulating, which includes an outline of greeter responsibilities. We encourage you to consider volunteering for this important role. The hospitality sign-up sheet for May and June is available. Please sign up to contribute a dish or two to fill our hearts and our bellies. Thank you for your continued contributions to our society. Whoops, I dropped my Kleenex. Okay. This is a time in the service when we share together the reading of the Daily Word, a bi-monthly meditation magazine published by Unity World Headquarters. The word for today is blessed. I am blessed with peace, calm, and the love of God. Today, if someone asks me how I am, I will smile and respond, I am blessed. This simple declaration will set the tone for the day, encouraging me to notice blessings large and small, especially the little things I may take for granted. I will also be mindful that God is the source of all my blessings. I find my greatest blessing is in grounding myself in God's grace. It brings me peace, calms my fears, and is a bright guiding light in dark and difficult times. In the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus described the blessings of life, reminding those gathered that the truest wealth is not measured by money or power. I take those words to heart and feel deeply grateful. I am spiritually blessed, enriched by God's unwavering love. And from Matthew chapter 5, verse 8, blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Here are a few announcements for the upcoming fun week and month. Next Sunday's 11 a.m. service will feature Reverend Susan Gum. Our May theme is Aligning Our Power. This month's spiritual power is power, represented by the disciples Philip and Miriam. The color is purple. Hospitality is provided today by Kevin and Ann Finnegan and Linda Lynn. Please join us for food, fun, and fellowship downstairs after the service. Thank you to all those who provide hospitality and help with setup and cleanup are always appreciated. So if you see them wandering around, be sure to thank them. I would now, but they aren't wandering around, so. Oh, they're cooking, okay. Then we don't want to distract them with any applause or anything, so we'll keep going. New membership recognition is actually today during this service. We will be celebrating our new member. Are you feeling called to become a member? Membership cards are available on the table in the foyer. Are we going to do it now? Later? Okay. The annual membership meeting is scheduled for Sunday, May 3rd. Next week. Which is next week. During this meeting, we will vote on new members and provide a yearly report on Unity's progress this past year. Our inline book group will meet Mondays at 12:30 on Zoom. They're reading Understanding Your Soul, The Channeled Wisdom of Jesus by Christine Bush. Please contact Nancy Leifer, who isn't here, or Judy Crenshaw, who isn't here, so I guess you're out of luck. Okay. The in-person Unity book group meets on Tuesdays at 12:30. They are reading the book Creating Your Life, The Channeled Wisdom of Jesus, Part 2 by Christine Bush. This book encourages readers to engage with their core identity and leverage their intrinsic energy and conscious intent to influence their reality. Yes?
So if somebody wanted to be on that Monday online book group, they can call me.
Okay, Audrey's available for Zoom links. Thank you, Audrey. A Course in Miracles study group meets Mondays at 2 at the home of Tom and Linda Andrus. Linda has directions if you need them. A Course in Miracles beginners group is meeting Thursdays at 5:30 here at Unity in the sanctuary. Thursday's time of silent prayer and meditation for world peace is at 7. Please join us for a 20-minute time of silent meditation as we visualize our world in blessed peace. Thanks so much to those of you who continue to support our Unity community through your tithes and love offerings. Your generous donations enable us to keep our building full of spiritual seekers and other community groups throughout the month. We appreciate you. Okay. Unity's 10% tithe on all income received each quarter is divided between and sent to help the missions of Unity headquarters, Unity Northwest Region, and local Missoula charities as voted on annually by the board. So if you have some suggestions for local charities, be sure to talk to any board members if you'd like that to be included. There's one in the back. Yes, and Valan and Linda. Linda Z, yes. I just added that on my own, but since the since the congregational meeting is coming up, this is a good thing to do. Please hold them in your heart as we affirm our offering blessing. I will affirm it once, then repeat it with me. I open my heart to love. All that I give and all that I receive is blessed and multiplied from a joyful heart of love. Together. I open my heart to love. All that I give and all that I receive is blessed and multiplied from a joyful heart of love. Would our usher board members please come forward to pass the offering baskets? Before we move on to the talk for this week, I will affirm Unity's primary affirmation and ask you to join me for 2 more times. There is only one presence and one power in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. Together, there is only one presence and one power in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. And again, there is only one presence and one power in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. In addition, here is our Missoula Unity affirmation. I will affirm it once and ask you to join me again. We are Unity of Missoula. We are a radiating center of divine love, open and accessible to all. We are God's light, peace, and joy wherever we are. Together, we are Unity of Missoula. We are a radiating center of divine love, open and accessible to all. We are God's light, peace, and joy wherever we are. Unity of Missoula maintains a circle of people who have made a commitment to pray every day for others at their request. If you have names of people to hold in prayer for a month, you may place their names in the prayer box located on the altar, or call the church and leave a message with those names. Their names will be sent out to our prayer circle and to Silent Unity for 30 days of prayer. Please join me in prayer for a moment as we hold all of them in our hearts. You may also now say aloud or silently the names of those you wish to bring into this time of prayer. Dear God, we hold these friends and loved ones in our hearts. We behold their light as expressions of the indwelling Christ. We release them to your care and affirm divine order in their lives and ours. Thank you, God. Amen. Here is Kathy Frantzreb to lead us in singing I've Got Peace Like a River. Pat Brooks is going to help with the motions, and words are on the wall. Everybody please stand. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. Love like a fountain. I've got love like a mountain. I've got love like a mountain in my soul. I've got love like a mountain. I've got love like a mountain. I've got love like a mountain in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. In my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. In my soul. Thank you, Pat. It is my privilege now to introduce our guest speaker today. When I asked her what she wanted me to say, she said, "They haven't got rid of me yet." So, in honor of our steadfast, immovable, licensed Unity teacher, please welcome Linda Andrus.
Well, good morning, everyone. I think think we're supposed to actually be meditating, is that right? Or are we speaking first and then meditating? I don't know either. I was going to tell you a little bit about the song that I chose to sing, though, Feelin' Groovy. And I picked this song because I've been singing it a lot to myself because I've been undergoing some health challenges, which some of you know a lot about and some of you don't know anything about. And what the biggest thing was to slow down because you move too fast. And I've been dealing with an accelerated heart rate, which was diagnosed as AFib. So I've been singing to myself for a couple of months now that I should slow down, moving too fast. So I like that song too because it talks about looking for fun. And if there's anything we know about at Unity of Missoula, it's looking for fun. So with that in mind, let's just take a few moments and move into a quiet space because we're going to slow down. We've been moving a little too fast. I want to read from our booklet, And So We Pray, which has been available out in the foyer. I don't know how many copies are still available. Hopefully everybody got one. But it's a little booklet about praying in the face of different kinds of adversity. And the one that I really liked, that really spoke to me for today, is in the face of fearing the future. And I think we've all kind of been in that space of fearing the future. And that's why I wanted to do a love fest, because that's my idea of what we can do as a group of people when we're facing the fear of the future. We move into love. So take a breath and slow down for a minute and move into your heart space. The space inside us where the only thing is love. The space inside that just radiates with the light of God. The space inside that knows this is the truth of who we are. We let go of fearing the future. As we take a deep breath, we center ourselves in our hearts. We become more still and affirm our trust in the activity of Spirit as our very lives. Here within this sacred moment, God is. Loving presence into the divine comfort of truth, I surrender. I surrender my anxious thoughts about tomorrow. With each breath, fears dissolve, and I bring myself back to center. With each breath, I remember that there is no place nor time in which God is not. Knowing and affirming this truth, I rest in the peace of God, and I feel myself held in the loving arms of Spirit. God is my present moment. God is the source of my good. I turn my faith toward the divine and discover peace in my oneness. Centered in God, I open to the grace that anchors me now and guides me into a future of joy and harmony with ease and care. I walk forward in faith and courage, knowing my awareness today creates a future that is grounded in God. I affirm the strength within me. My faith reveals the limitless potential for good. With gratitude in the here and now, I welcome this moment and the steps ahead toward a bright and God-centered future. I am at peace, for the peace of God is within me and is me. Breathing once again in that peace, in that center. I slowly come back into this room, into this community that I have chosen to be a part of, at least for now. I am willing to remember every step is guided and protected and leading us all home together. And I say, thank you, sweet spirit, it is so. And open our eyes, if you're comfortable doing so, and just look around the room and see all the blessed beings that are here. We are indeed one as community. Thank you. So I was really moved this month when I opened my Spirituality and Health magazine. Used to be Unity magazine, and it joined forces with another community, and it's now Spirituality and Health magazine. And they have a column, an advice column with a rabbi, which is really interesting. And one of the questions that the rabbi answered this month was from a woman who said that her son, who grew up in Unity, has discovered another religion, and he goes to this rather fundamentalist church faithfully every Sunday. And she went with him because she wanted to see what it was all about. And he told her the reason that he left Unity was that Unity is a girls' church. You know, full of light and joy and happiness and feminine aspects of God, and, you know, not like the church that he found that's really masculine oriented. And so this woman is asking the rabbi what she can do about it. She finds this really disturbing that her son is gone off the rails, you know. And the rabbi basically said to just love him and bless him as much as you can. And we know that Unity doesn't speak for everyone, and especially not even the rabbi. He's happy being Jewish. And so Unity, it being the girls' church, hey, that's great. And that's what, you know, it really moved me, because I thought that's what we were looking for in the 60s and 70s, was that idea that love is the answer. That love is what we want to focus on. That we don't want to perpetuate the hatred and the divisiveness and all those things, the wars, etc., that were going on in the world. But we want to concentrate on being a center of love and light. So my daughter, my beloved daughter, the second daughter, the one who's also doing a fundamentalist church, told me that she didn't like to come to Unity because it's the old hippie church. So here we are. Welcome home, old hippies. I was also really struck by, I'm going to pull this booklet back out, because, years ago when I was first introduced to unity, it was definitely the hippie church. And when I first came to unity, believe it or not, there were not 5 basic tenets of unity. If anybody asked you, what does unity teach and believe, you kind of went, and finally, somebody in the late 80s, I believe it was, decided that we needed to make a concise statement of unity's truth teachings. So we came up with the 5 basic tenets of unity, or the 5 basic principles of unity, and printed them. At the time, I was fairly newly in a position of being coordinator at Unity, or I think I was anyway. I dug my heels in. I didn't like the idea of there being written things that tell you what unity is. And I especially didn't like the original version of them, which seemed to me to be too wordy and too hard to follow and too hard to make sense of. And so a couple of the board members at the time insisted that we had to post the unity principles on the wall, that they should be right up front, so people knew what they were getting into when they came into a unity church. Well, luckily enough, Unity Worldwide printed a poster of the 5 basic tenets. And so I had that framed, and we reluctantly, on my part, hung it up. But since that time, I've been looking for, because I wanted something that spoke to your heart, that was easy to remember and wasn't, 25 words for each one of the principles. And so I found the Unity children's version of the 5 basic principles. And so we have the adult version, we have the children's version. Then I came across a version from Bend, Oregon Unity Church that I really liked. And so I made a sheet of paper with all the different versions of the 5 basic tenets, because number one, I wanted people to use the version that felt best to them. And number two, I wanted people to see that unity does not teach dogma. I love Jeff's song about leaving your dogma at the door, because unity really teaches, in my mind, my understanding, that everybody finds their inner spirit on their own, that you find the words and the connection within yourself. You don't have to memorize a creed or anything else. You can, if you want, memorize the tenets. And then in this book, ta-da, Ellen Davenport came up with 5 more, or another interpretation of the 5 basic tenets. So I'm going to read those to you, but I also added them to the list. So if you want a list of 4 different versions of the 5 basic tenets, they're sitting in the foyer on the door as you go out. So number 1, God is all there is, present everywhere. Number 2, human beings are one with God and inherently good. Number 3, our thoughts and feelings have power to create our experience. Number 4, prayer and meditation reinvigorate our unbreakable connection to God. And number 5, it is not enough to know these principles. We must live the truth we know. And notice that this action step comes last. We act after we have acknowledged the presence of Spirit around and within us, after we have seen the divine in all others, and after we have lined up our thoughts to focus on the best possible outcome, and after we have prayed. Then from this higher consciousness, we can receive pure guidance. We can be inspired to act, maybe in a way we never thought of before. And so that's what I think, this outrageous, audacious act of love is all about. That we love no matter what. Now, a lot of us, I think, maybe make the same mistake I make, which is I want to change the world out there by loving it, and actually in some ways feeling like it's easier to love at a distance, I can kind of dismiss those actions out there that don't seem to affect me very much, and I can say, oh, I love all those people. But when your son or your daughter or your brother or your sister or whoever gets in your face and is outrageous, can you love then? And that's what I think is the idea of outrageous love. That we are given day-to-day opportunities, even driving around town, really. I'm going to pick on Dave. He used to tell me that he wished he had 2 machine guns mounted on the front bumper of his truck when he was driving down Reserve, and he just... So, I never pointed out to him that that wasn't really a very loving thought to have. It would be very effective, yes. So, and the thing is that I'm finding more and more when I am willing to listen to the love in my heart, I can sometimes find that I have misunderstood other people's motivation. That there's perhaps an error in communication. That sometimes I can stop and listen carefully to what it is that they're saying. That I can just breathe and trust that maybe through the power of the God within me, I can admit that I've been wrong. I can admit that perhaps there's a different way of seeing this. That perhaps they too have a desire for the highest and best outcome. Now, their way of seeing what the highest and best outcome should be can be completely different from mine. And that's when I have to turn to trust. I have to just really realize that it's okay, that I can trust. There was a story, Ryan's story last week about the man and and the horse and the sun and the people coming. Reminded me of another story from Divine Audacity, a story about a king. And the king has a loyal advisor who has an annoying habit of responding to each event by saying, "That is good." He says this when the king loses his toe in a hunting accident. The king fires him from his job because he doesn't want to hear "this is good" when he lost a toe. 6 months later, the king is captured by a group of tribesmen who plan to use him in a sacrificial ceremony. On discovering that his toe is gone, they declare him unfit as he has already been cut, and they send him away. So the king gets back to his castle and he calls his loyal advisor and says, "Wow, you were right. That was good. I was saved because I didn't have a toe. That was really good." And and then the king says to the royal advisor, "But why did you say when I fired you that this was good?" And the loyal advisor looked at him and said, "Well, if you hadn't fired me, I would have been with you when you were captured by that tribe. And they would have sacrificed me because I have all my toes and fingers. So yes, it was good that you fired me." So I think that's what we need to remember sometimes, that it's all good. Every single bit of it is good. Even AFib was good for me, because it gave me a chance to join with doctors and nurses and actually listen to some medical advice, to slow down, to realize just how many friends and family were around me and supporting me in so many ways. Prayer, offers of rides, offers to stay and help with Tom, just anything. Everybody said, "Please, if you need anything, just call us." And my daughter, the one that I have the quarrel with, and I made up, because she came with me. She sat with me, and she told me how much she loved me. So amazing what healing happens when we're willing to say, "I was wrong. Please forgive me, and I love you." There was another little story. I get a subscription to a newsletter from a fellow who's a Unity minister, but also a Science of Mind practitioner. And he said, the Strait of Hormuz is in the news in a lot of ways. And a lot of anger around that Strait of Hormuz for those of us who are watching gas prices and food prices and et cetera, and feeling so justified in our outlook on this whole situation. And he said the Strait of Hormuz is a metaphor for the choke points in our lives. Things remain uncertain around a so-called ceasefire in the war with Iran and the status of the Strait of Hormuz, with conflicting reports suggesting the passage may be partially open, but still widely considered unstable and high risk. One of the world's most critical energy choke points, the strait carries 1/5 of global oil and gas shipments, meaning any disruption there quickly ripples through the global economy. But we also have choke points, places in our own life experience where the flow narrows and something gets held. When that happens, everything downstream is affected. These choke points can show up as resentment, avoidance, fear, the need to control, or the need to be right. And often, like nations in conflict, we respond by pushing harder, defending our position, tightening our grip. But the flow doesn't return through force. It returns through a kind of inner ceasefire, a softening, a releasing what we've been holding on to, forgiveness, and allowing all things to proceed in order. So I don't know about you if you need to recognize where your Strait of Hormuz is in your life, what you want to open your heart to let the love that's there, even if it says sometimes, I have to apologize in spite of the fact I know I'm right. You know? And I find myself doing that fairly frequently, that I'm not necessarily, in the grander scheme of things, right. As the Course in Miracles says, would you rather be right or happy? And I've answered that for years, that I want to be happy. But then I find myself all too often slipping into that, but being happy means I'm right. So, Mac McChesney, who was a long time ago member of Unity, actually had me print him a little tabletop thing that he could keep on his desk when he was meeting with clients. He was a lawyer. And it said, do I want to be right or do I want to be happy? And it's not easy sometimes to say that I love you, I forgive you, please forgive me. But it does lead to a feeling of happiness. So that takes me back to our song, Feelin' Groovy. I don't know how many of you remember the controversy of a lot of songs in the hippy-dippy era where we were told that they were songs about drugs and we shouldn't listen to them or play them or let kids listen to them. And so they were very controversial. I remember being told Puff the Magic Dragon was a bad song. Nobody should ever sing that song. And definitely Feeling Groovy. We know if you're tripping down the cobblestones, you must be really tripping, right? Well, there's one more song that I thought of that I'd love to have today. So Mark has graciously agreed to sing and play it. And it's a song by, ta-da, John Denver. Ta. I don't know how many of you love John Denver. I love John Denver. He actually wrote the foreword to one of Jerry Jampolsky's books about being right or being happy. And John Denver had a spiritual experience, not in a church, but on a mountaintop in Colorado in a meteor shower. And this song came to him after this experience as a way to help him remember just how he felt about it. And so with that, Mark, are you ready?
Ready. He was born in the summer of his 27th year, coming home to a place he'd never been before. He left yesterday behind him. You might say he was born again. You might say he found a key to every door. When he first came to the mountains, his life was far away, on the road, hanging from a song. But the string's already broken, and he doesn't really care. It keeps changing fast, and it don't last for long. But the Colorado Rocky Mountain High, I've seen it rain and fire in the sky. The shadow from the starlight is softer than the lullaby. Rocky Mountain High, Rocky Mountain High. He climbed Cathedral Mountains, he saw silver clouds below. He saw everything as far as you can see. And they say that he got crazy once and tried to touch the sun. And he lost a friend but kept a memory. Now he walks in fields of solitude, the forests and the streams, seeking grace
in every step he takes. His sight has turned inside himself, and he tries to understand the serenity of a clear blue mountain lake and the Colorado Rocky Mountain High. I've seen it rain and fire in the sky. I know he'd be a poor man if he'd never seen an eagle fly. Rocky Mountain High. Rocky Mountain High.
Cool. Cool. Far out. Groovy, feeling groovy. The good news, of course, is that in spite of some push from the Colorado legislature and people all over the country that were thinking that they knew a little better than other people, that song did not get banned. And in fact, it's now Colorado's state song. So, cool. Far out. There was one other thing that came up for me last week during Ryan's talk. I'm going to pick on Ryan just a tiny bit. He said that he knew that Unity of Missoula was the place for him because he met or talked to somebody about whether they could smoke outside under the trees. And this guy said, well, of course, we've got ashtrays and everything out there for you. And the other guy said, well, that's not exactly what I'm smoking. I mean, and so Ryan thought it was so cool because somebody, whoever it was he talked to, basically said, hey, that's okay, man, whatever. And I was reminded, or I thought, interesting, really interesting, because depending on who you talk to at Unity, you're going to get two or three totally different answers. I remember at one point on the board we were discussing not allowing even cigarettes outside. That, you know, if you're going to be a true member, you're going to clean up your act, blah, blah, blah. And you're going to not smoke, and you're not going to drink, and you're not going to, and especially because we have AA meetings here, we want to ensure that AA members are comfortable. I was told that I couldn't even allow people who were having wedding celebrations to bring in wine or beer or anything, that it was 100% alcohol-free in our facility. So I kind of said that wink, wink, because I was not going to say, no, you can't have your wedding party here and you can't drink at your wedding party. I said, if you be sure that you clean up every bit of evidence that you were drinking at the church, then you can have your reception here or your party here. And that included making sure the bottles got carted off site, not put in our dumpster. So it's just so interesting. And just as I say, it just depended kind of, that's one of the wonderful things about having a team ministry. If you don't like something somebody told you, go talk to somebody else. You'll get a different answer. And so with that, I'm going to turn this celebration, this love fest, over to our board president, Val Ann, who's going to welcome our newest member into we're so glad you're here kind of thing.
I'll let you hold that. Ryan, would you please come up here? right, you have been bubbled.
I know I always wear black, but this is like my dirty black clothes because I was painting this morning at my restaurant and came straight from there, so thank you so much.
All right. I think all of you have at least seen Ryan and know him a little bit. I know a few things about him. He's been around here for about a year so far, and he's been very active in being involved in things. He was active in the Course in Miracles group. He came to the book study sometimes. And then he started his own group for beginners in Course in Miracles. That's a lot of motivation that he's put forth. I know he cooks a little bit because I had some wonderful mushrooms once that he did. So he's helped with that, right? He also volunteered to be an alternate for the board already for this time when we were asking with people. And so he's going to be involved on that level after we get going this next year. And last week, we got to hear him speak, right? He got to share his own words with him. And as we expected, it was wonderful. And I know one other thing that I've gotten to experience directly. He gives really good hugs.
Bring it in, Ryan. Oh, you're awesome.
Join me in welcoming Ryan.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Don't forget your
It's
certificate.
official.
It's official. Official. All right. So in conclusion, we will do our prayer for protection, and we will do it in honor of our oneness. Is it up? Okay. Together, the light of God surrounds us. We are the light. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love. The power of God protects us. We are the power. The presence of God watches over us. We are the presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. We are one. So let's move into our circle.
Great bubbles.
Thanks, Susan Mason. Wasn't that great? So as you know, you were all given a string of beads as you came in. If there are leftover beads, please feel free to take them. I want you to notice these are not really Mardi Gras beads. These are 3 of the colors of 3 of the 12 powers. So you've been given either gold for understanding, or green for order, or purple for power or dominion. And this is because as we come to understand one another, we will truly see the order in the universe, and then we have the power to choose love. Thank you. And go out and have fun.